Hi, I'm Tony Davenport with 3D Custom Homes, and I'm standing out in front of our latest project in Hedgewood Subdivision. This project is very personal to me because I live right on the other side. Rodney Miles is the owner of this house, and he bought it last 2 years ago, and he's done a lot of remodeling through the process, and his last remodel project was to turn a gas burning fireplace into a wood burning fireplace. Those of us in the industry know that's not something that you should do. But he found a company that did it, and he was having a party here one night, and they had a fire, and then the fire went out, everything was fine. Everybody went to bed just like any normal night, and what they didn't know was behind the scenes, that wood burning fireplace, the box gets so hot that the stuff behind the box caught fire. That fire burned for several hours up the chase and into the attic, and this whole time everybody's asleep except for Rodney, who's downstairs watching a football game. A few hours later, his daughter comes down and says she can't sleep, so Rodney said, well, go upstairs, grab a blanket, come down and cuddle with me, watch the rest of the game, and then we'll go to bed. She goes back upstairs to get her blanket, comes back down, and she tells her dad that she just hears a funny noise upstairs. So he goes up to investigate, also hears the noise, can't figure out what it is until he sees a hole actually burn through the drywall right above one of his sleeping children. He rushes, gets the family out of the house, remembers that we're exactly where he left his keys in his wallet, so he runs back in, grabs those because he wants to have them. As he runs out the second time, the entire roof collapses and the house burns, and it's a total loss. So we've been working with Rodney since the beginning, right when he started dealing with his insurance stuff, and we've done some few changes to the house to make it more personal to him. So let's go inside and check it out. So I'm standing here in the living room, and the first thing I want to point out is we have a fireplace. And we had the conversation with Rodney on whether or not he actually wanted to put a fireplace in. And we assured him that our gas direct vent fireplace isn't going to cause a problem, isn't going to cause any fires, all the combustion's inside, and it's a awesome unit. A couple things I want to point out on it. Behind there, it's called thermal ply. And what we do in our system, the number one thing that leaks in a new construction house that we found is the fireplace chase. So as you can tell, we spray foam everything up in there. Every gap, every crevice, anything where we think that air can come back through, we make sure that it's sealed. Behind that thermal ply, it's also spray foamed. We just want to seal that whole envelope off because cold air will pour in from underneath here down to your floor, making your floor feel like it's extremely cold. So that's one of our major emphasis when we do houses. Other things that we do that some other builders don't do, a standard insulation is what you see up there. We don't do that. Behind that is actually spray foam, like what you see up in here. That seals everything off so no air can penetrate. The cold air cannot figure out a way to get in there. We also use this loose fill insulation with a net, which is different than what most people are doing as well. Most they just have a roll of insulation. They stuff it in this hole. Air can get around there. We do it this way so that when the drywall actually pushes up against that, that's going to cause that basically pillowing effect, and everything is going to seal. This is stuff that just basically, it costs us money to do it, but if I'm going to build a house for somebody, I'm going to build a house that is a house that I would live in, and this is what I would do for myself, so this is why we do it for our customers.